Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, please don't forget to click that big subscribe button. So today I'm talking to you about the very final season finale episode of Resident Alien. It's been a really good first season. It's been one of these sleeper hits, this show, that sort of almost came out of nowhere, and I've really enjoyed the first season. It's been a great mix of comedy and sci-fi and mystery and everything. And if you haven't already seen it, I suggest checking out or binge watching the whole first season because it's well worth a look. But today I'm talking to you about the final of the season and just going to go through that and talk about some of the things we liked and also what we might perhaps expect for season 2. Let's take a look at the season finale of Resident Alien. I enjoyed this last episode. It didn't do anything different that we haven't already seen in previous episodes. It was very much along the same old lines for every other episode, which was fine. Although I guess for a season finale, you expect to get maybe a little bit of a bigger bang for your buck, maybe a bit more production value, a bit more action, a bit more excitement, maybe a bit more tension, and it wasn't quite up to that level. It was a solid episode, same as every other episode that we've had this season. I enjoyed it. It had some good humour, had some mystery solved and all that sort of thing as well. But it wasn't a big banger, cracker of a season finale that maybe you would perhaps expect. We obviously got the mystery solved with who killed Sam. We now know that it was Human Harry that had put the botulinum toxin poison in his insulin, which we saw in a flashback in the opening of this episode. And then obviously we got Max and Sahar warning Harry about the government agents, and we've got the government agents tracking down Harry, or what they think is Harry, and obviously Harry flip-flopping with whether he activates his annihilation device or not. It was a fine last episode. I would have liked to see a bit bigger scale, maybe him in a bit of a ship chase or something, maybe with him breaking out of the hangar in his spaceship and being pursued by army helicopters or something. Something a bit bigger scale would have been nice to see. Still a solid episode, still enjoyed it, just thought it could have been a bit bigger scale for the finale. Good to see that Sheriff Mike and Deputy Liv have amended all their bridges and so forth, and Sheriff's now bought an espresso machine for the work coffee room. That was kind of cute, I thought. And it was sort of a fun scene to see the mayor and his wife going to town on the government agents with frying pans and whatnot after they kind of broke into their house to interrogate Max. It was dark but fun. Harry's outing in this episode, I guess coming to terms with his human side a bit more, realise that, his relationship with Asta means a lot to him, and that he doesn't want to necessarily blow up the Earth after all, because, he's sort of having second thoughts about that. One thing I was kind of surprised about this episode, I thought we might have seen a bit more of an interaction between Linda Hamilton's character and Harry. I thought there might have been a moment where he was sort of captured. There maybe have been a bit of an interrogation, perhaps. I think that would have been nice. There's been a bit of a build up to that, and obviously McAllister has been sort of trying to find Harry all of her life, and I think it would have been nice to pay that off a bit at the end of the season. But I guess that leaves it open to delving more deeply into that in season 2, which we know now is confirmed. It is happening. Again, some cute scenes between Max and Sahar. This time more so interacting with Asta and comparing notes with what they know about Harry. And obviously we've got a bit of a payoff with the whole Darcy finding the dead body in the freezer, where she sort of now is sort of second guessing herself a bit. Isn't quite sure what she saw. Obviously the mystery got solved with who killed Dr. Sam. However, it wasn't publicly. It was obviously done in a flashback form. The town doesn't still know who the murderer was, that it was in fact Harry. But guess that will probably come back to haunt in season 2. We've got Harry in his spaceship flying off out of Earth with Max as a stowaway. So he'll have to come back to drop Max back, I guess. So whether or not there's some payoff in terms of the discovery of the murderer of Sam being Human Harry is yet to be seen. But I guess that, again, we're saving some plot threads for season 2. One thing I thought we might have got in this first season was another alien race. We had so many references throughout the first season to other alien races like the Greys and whatnot that Harry kind of referenced and referred to. There was sort of, some scuttlebutt and chatter floating about that maybe one of the Lisa Casper, the government agent, maybe she was a grey alien in disguise, or maybe somebody else in town was an alien, whether it be from Harry's race or a different alien race that was concealing their identity as well. I thought we might have got that. I wasn't hanging out for it, but it was certainly a solid theory that I thought might have played out in the first season. But I think that gives the writers scope to expand upon that potentially in season 2. We also didn't get any kind of return from Harry's wife, Isabel. She didn't return for season finale, so it seems that story thread has been put to bed as well. I think they kind of left something open, I think, that I kind of expected might come back in this season, which was Isabel, Harry's wife, had mentioned in a previous episode that there were some men in New York that were kind of trying to track him down or hunt him down or something to that effect. So I remember hearing that thinking, oh, okay, how's this going to play out, with some New York, whether it be mob type people or just some dodgy people that Harry owes money to or whatever, that we're going to enter into things. So I kind of thought that established fact might have played out before the season concluded. So it seems like there's still a few threads left up in the air that hopefully we'll get to see in season 2. Some sort of showdown between McAllister and Harry, and maybe some addition of other alien races, or maybe there's a foil or another alien in town of a different race that Harry doesn't get along with. I think that obviously one of the highlights of season 1 has been that great dynamic between Max and Harry. And seeing how they kind of, spar with each other, and they're always sort of niggling at each other and all that sort of thing. And Sahar's been a good part of that as well. So I think anything that kind of, I guess, furthers that dynamic, I think, is always going to be amusing in this show. The other interesting concept is the fact that Lieutenant Logan has been betrayed. Lisa Casper and McAllister turned on him in this episode, and he was about to get killed if there hadn't been some witnesses walking past. So it'll be interesting to see whether he somehow gets involved and goes on Harry's side or something for episodes in season 2. I did laugh in this episode at the kind of recurring jokes around the pizzas. I think Harry stuffing his face full of pizza and then ordering a ridiculously huge stack of pizzas and then forgetting them and then debating whether to go back for his pizzas. And there were some funny recurring gags regarding the pizzas in this episode, which was kind of cool. But all in all, I really enjoyed season 1 of Resident Alien. Let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy the first season? Were you happy and satisfied with the season finale, or did you think it needed a bit of something extra? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my merchandise in the merchandise store, where you can pick up some really cool sci-fi themed t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, caps and all that sort of stuff. And be sure to check the memberships page if you would like to become a Sci Fanatics member. Until then, guys, I will see you very soon again for my next review.